What's up, guys? It's Captain of Production 72 with a regular upload. I know, shocking, I'm actually doing one. And today we're going to discuss, and I'm not going to insert photos because I am careful. I once got in trouble and a strike for photos, so I'm being very careful here. Today we're going to talk about the new Superstar Destroyer that has been revealed? Words. So, quick fun fact for those who don't know. The last one released, which is that one up there, came out in 2011, which if you're me and you're 20, it doesn't feel like that long ago. That was 15 years ago. And yeah, that set is amazing. To me, it's iconic. A lot of people in my live stream tell me this set's overrated. I really do love it. Especially the fun way that it hides its interior. Observe. It's one of these damn panels. It was that damn panel. And of course, that's the interior you got back in 2011, which I'll be honest is well hidden, considering I couldn't find the damn thing. You know, I think this set's a classic, and it is a bit dusty. I do need to clean it. Yeah, I'm sorry. But we're going to talk about the new one, which its pictures came out, and I'll be honest, it's an interesting looking set. The way they like to wrap it around the box art, I find quite interesting. It's like, I've never seen a set where they can't properly show it on the box art. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments, or maybe a set from another theme, or just something that I'm maybe not thinking of, because I'm very curious on that one. You know, I'll figure out what there is, but it's a cool looking set, and the first thing I want to talk about is minifigures. So of course you get your standardized, Darth Vader. That's the one we got back in 2011, which, he's changed a lot since then. I know how's that weird helmet. Some people hate me for this. I never grew on Vader's helmet, that one that we got. It never grew on me, that one we got in 2015. Like, yeah, it made sense. Maybe in that one set, for that iconic scene in Return of the Jedi where he removes the helmet. But other than that, it's your run-of-the-mill Vader. I think it has the arm printing. I could be wrong. But the bounty hunters are really where that set is at. And, so this is the main bounty hunters from Empire. We've got Boba Fett up there. That's the Cloud City one, so that doesn't really apply here. But it'll be one, that's a Boba Fett to show for reference, right? That is a bit more modern. And essentially, it's these characters, but we're getting arm printing on you. We think you look the same. You're completely different, as are you. I mean, they've actually changed the colour of Bosk and, of course, IG-88. Which is what you need. Not to mention, they've also included the small Star Destroyer. A bit like how this one has it stuck with clear bricks. Well, this one has its own kind of stand. Think of how that thing stands on the stand, but it's clear and it has the circular base. Not to mention, whereas that has the room built into it and you have to unveil it, and it does look a bit weird on display. I will give people that. This is its own displayable area, which I am really into the idea of this. This is a really cool idea. Having the display off separate. Because a few times when I've been displaying this set, I've had the minifigures kind of at the base, kind of having the scene set up. But I really like this idea. It's really cool. Now, the real question, something I also want to notice, it looks flatter than that one does, but maybe that's more accurate. The real question is, am I going to buy it? Because, this is something I've been asked a few times. Now that I've seen the images, I can kind of verify what I really think of it. I think it's cool. Obviously, I'm going to wait for a review. Now, I have the one from 2011, which to me is which is a very cool and iconic set. And, being from the early 2010s, that's an era of LEGO Star Wars I have a lot of nostalgia for. The other question is space. So I'm getting to that point with my collection. I feel like 2027 will be the last year where I can have it the way that it is. Where I have this shelf fully the way I want it with, I can have little gaps and spaces and stuff like that, because I've wanted it to specifically be Return of the Jedi sets. In this case, Empire, A New Hope, and going downwards. And the honest answer is no. In fact, I like to hold off purchasing the big Venator for space, because these are two giant sets, and I am going to probably buy the Super Star Destroyer while it is out. I've got a feeling this will be the set that replaces the Venator. I'm going to be honest, I've not been paying attention too much to retirement lists, so I'm not entirely sure. It's a set that I want, right? Because in Star Wars canon, if I'm correct, and in Legends, there is more than one of those ships. Not to mention, I do like, it's like, modern Star Wars sets, like play sets and stuff, don't interest me the way something like this, from 2013 and 2012, or 2006, or 2001, or 09 or 2000. Modern Star Wars, I'll be honest, this year I have bought exactly one 2026 set, and it was the Battle Pack. The set, this year did just not interest whatsoever. And same with last year, for the most part. I mean, last year I went nuts buying old school sets, but I like the UCS sets they're bringing out, and I will most likely buy this set, because I know it's a question. 650 quid. I'm probably going to wait till a sale or something like that. It's not top of the list, because the next giant set I want to buy before it goes completely, or just as it's going, or maybe even buy a used one, because I'm going to have to keep the set in storage for a few years anyway, maybe even longer. Because I've got a plan with some bigger, by the way, the set I'm talking about is the Venator. My ultimate plan is, there's some sets I want that I know I don't have space to display, but I'm still going to buy them. And it's easier to keep a hold of a set in a box than it is built. You know, for example, I could have stored that set under my bed if I didn't have the space by just not opening it. And that's kind of the game plan where I'm at on things, is the collecting is going to change very drastically, and I might make a video about that, but all in, it's kind of the point where I'm going to start acquiring sets, because the way I see it, I could buy a Venator this year, or I could wait until 10 years time when I have the space or something, or 5 years, whenever. Problem is, how much is a Venator going to sell for then? And I'm applying the same logic to the Star Destroyer, so yes, I will buy one, but I will not be buying one when it comes out. And the good thing is, as far as I'm aware, and I'm hoping I'm wrong on this one, in the image that does exist, the little room with the bounty hunters, you know, like the bridge scene, I'm hoping that I'm right on this, that's included in the box, because if that was a GWP, now granted you could just make it out generic parts, or I'd still be mad, but there you go. I do plan on buying it, and this maybe answers your question on those who constantly go, well, you've got all the other cons, so where's the goddamn Venator? Hopefully I have, you know, made the mob happy. But yeah, there's a video on it. I want to talk about it. No, I'm not showing pictures. I know it's been officially unveiled and people have been showing it on Instagram and stuff, but I just like to be careful in case somehow Lego, because you know what they're like, retracts and goes, no.